Hi everyone, today I'm in the Mamilla cemetery. It's an ancient Muslim cemetery in the west part of Jerusalem. It goes back thousands of years and is full with many amazing tombs and monuments to famous rulers, scholars, and different elite Muslim and Arab people. It's one of my favorite places in Jerusalem. In the past 70, 100 years, a lot of different things have been built on top of it to varying degrees of controversy. And I'm going to walk around and see what remains, because every single year there's less and less remaining. Different things are destroyed and built on top. And I thought it's important to document this place because I don't know how much longer it will be left. I'm going to start off over here. This is one of my favorite buildings in the Mamilla cemetery. It's called the Kubakiyya. It's the tomb or maqam, shrine belonging to one of the Mamluk amirs. He was the ruler of Safad or Tzfat or Safed, whatever you want to call it, which is now a city in the north of Israel. And he was the ruler of there. He's from the Mamluk dynasty, and I'm a huge Mamluk fanboy. I'm a big fan of all their architecture. So it's awesome to have this here in Jerusalem. It's one of my favorite tombs. The door is sealed, unfortunately. So I met here a wonderful lady named Famida, who comes from the UK, and she's here praying in the cemetery. She doesn't want to be on film, but she's gonna explain what's happening here.
I've brought some bakur here, and I've come to pray Fatiha for them and pray Surah Yasin and Fatiha for everybody that's laid to rest here, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants them with the bounties of Jannah, because a lot of people don't come here, so every time during my visit I do come here and like to just spend some time with them.
Have you ever seen anyone else here praying?
No.
Only you?
Only myself, but I'm sure other people do come, it's just that I haven't seen anyone.
You can see some of the tombs here. Most of them are not in the best shape. Looks like they used to have kind of upright stones on them, but they were rather fallen off or broken off. So this tomb still has an inscription on it. It says it belongs to the late Tajuddin Abu al-Wafa Muhammad al-Audi. I don't know who he is, but it says he was buried here in the year 803 Hijri on the Hijri calendar. Beside it's another tomb belonging to somebody from the al-Audi family. I don't know who they are, but they seem to all be together. This one has an amazing inscription. I'm terrible at reading Arabic calligraphy, so I'm not even going to try. This one says it's from 1321, which is the beginning of the 20th century. I think it's 1903, according to my calculation. It's really well preserved. It belongs to... I don't want to even bother trying to read that. Here's a big field of tombs. Almost all of them have their inscriptions broken off. This one's still got something. It says, here is buried the late something, Mustafa something. Can't read it. Sorry. Here behind me is the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, one of the most incredible buildings in Jerusalem. It was actually built as the Palace Hotel, I think in the 20s or 30s, by the Mufti of Jerusalem, something al-Husseini. It's funny, it was very controversial at the time because that land also belonged to the Mamilla cemetery. According to a story that I remember that I read a couple years ago, it said that when they were doing excavations to build the hotel, they found more graves that they didn't know existed, and in the middle of the night they had to dispose of them secretly. It was a big embarrassment. The Mufti of Jerusalem was the main religious figure in Jerusalem, and they already started building this hotel. So according to a story I read, I don't know if it's actually true, it said that they had to secretly whisk away the bodies and bury them somewhere else. The building itself, they brought in stonemasons from Egypt to build it, and it has amazing construction, amazing columns and arches and all that. The building was bought, I think, maybe several years ago by the Waldorf Astoria Hotel Group, and now it's a ridiculously expensive hotel. They did some renovations and built an extra building. I read on the internet that tens of thousands of Muslims are buried here, maybe even up to 100,000, including soldiers from Saladin's army. He was the Kurdish Muslim commander that conquered Jerusalem from the Crusaders, and also Muslims that were massacred by the Crusaders were apparently buried here. This one says, here lies the late Saleh Ratib al-Ja'ouni. I think that's his name. I can't tell 100% because it looks like there's bird poo on top of one of the letters. He passed away in 1820. Here's the Mamilla Mall. It's an outdoor mall that's beside the Mamilla Cemetery, and it has international chain stores. Coming up on the left side, we have an ancient water cistern. I did some research that said that scholars aren't sure if it goes back to the Byzantine or the Roman or whatever times, but you can still walk into it. The water cistern has no water left in it, but sometimes during the winter it gets semi-filled up because of the rain, but it's not used anymore for any actual utilitarian function. It's just an empty pool. Here you can see a gap in the fence. The door's locked, but someone just broke the fence open. And the stairs lead down to this ancient pool. And I'm not going to bother going down the stairs because it's hot out and I don't feel like walking upstairs. This is a cool one. I read that some of the graves belong to crusaders. Maybe this one belongs to crusaders. It has a metal thing around it, so obviously the government's deemed it of some importance of some sort. This one looks like it used to be epic. It has like 3 tiers, but there's nothing on the top. You have an office chair. I guess somebody was sitting out here. This big glass building behind me is very controversial. It's called the Museum of Tolerance, and it's being built by the Simon Wiesenthal Center, some sort of organization based in the US. It's very controversial because it's built entirely on the land of the Mamilla Cemetery, even though there apparently was a parking lot there that was over the cemetery already, but still when they were constructing it they found tons and tons of skeletons, and they had to whisk those away in the middle of the night. And I don't know what happened to them, but the whole irony is that it's a Museum of Tolerance being built over a Muslim cemetery, so people aren't very happy about that. And I mean, what is a Museum of Tolerance anyways? What are they going to put in it? It's like some sort of artifacts you can put in to show like tolerance. Is it going to be showing how Jews are so tolerant? Is it going to be a history of tolerance? What is it exactly going to be? Nobody really knows. It seems kind of like a silly idea, but it's being built, so someone's paying for it, and it's gigantic. This is a nice one. Some kind of mandala looking carvings. This is the grave of Sheikh Hussein bin Hassan bin Muhammad al-Fatiani. It says he was the Imam of the Qubbat al-Sakhra, which is the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, the Golden Dome. And he died in the year 1260 Hijri. I gotta look up what that is in Western calendar. Here you can see some former grounds of the cemetery that were built over by some, I think they're university dormitories. Just peeking out of the top on the left side, you can see the top of a dome. That used to be open, so I actually remember it. It was the tomb of someone or a shrine of some sort, but now it's closed. It used to be open. It's surrounded by this construction site. Maybe it'll be open when the building's completed. This section's got a lot of big ones. As you can see, this place is not in the best state of repair. Oh, this guy still has an inscription on his. I keep getting prickly things. Some sort of thorn went into my shoe. I keep getting prickly things in my pants and my shoes because there's just these pointy shrubs with thorns. There's not really any real paths. It is insanely hot today. I don't know why I decided to go to make a video. This was a terrible idea. Right now I'm walking through a park that's right beside the Mamilla Cemetery. It's actually part of the 180 dunams that was taken from the cemetery and built over. All the graves are pretty much now gone, and it's now called Independence Park. There's people all around me hanging out on the grass, doing the thing, but this used to be part of the cemetery. When East Jerusalem was controlled by the Jordanians and West Jerusalem by the Israelis, there was kind of a tit for tat with cemeteries. The Jewish cemetery on the Mount of Olives was vandalized, and a lot of the tombstones taken for different projects, and the cemetery was built over. And then in the Muslim cemetery on the Israeli side, there was also different desecrations, and they built over the land of the cemetery. So there, in general, was not much respect for each other side's holy sites and grave sites. But there's some gravesites still left here, some underground caverns and caves which are blocked off now. But I'll take a look at them. I'm back here on a different day with Sophie because the last time I came, the footage ended up being in some sort of weird slow motion setting by mistake. We're gonna go in together and see these caves. They're burial caves. They're burial caves behind us. I think they're attributed to victims of maybe the Crusaders or people that died in the Crusader Wars.
I did it.
That was amazing. There's something in here that smells terrible.
I know. ורק כשנכנסתי לפה שמתי לזה.
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
We're not gonna go inside. We're just looking at it.
Shit, what is this?
What? That insect?
This huge insect. This is just like a dumpster.
No, people were buried in there.
Yeah, I know. but
There's
now
a
it's
lot of them.
dumpster.
Here's another one here.
Oh, look, it's a nice tree. Good one.
And there's one down here. There's a whole other side to this cave system.
I think there's like inside, if you look from this side, you can see like a hole in the wall.
We can skip that. That one is skippable. Well, since I'm walking by, I gotta take a picture of the famous Trump plaque.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
No pictures here, please.
Okay. All the way on the far side, about a 5-minute walk from here, there's still some tombs remaining, so it kind of attests to the original size of how big this place used to be. We're now all the way on the far side of the Independence Park, which is pretty far from the modern day Mamilla Cemetery. And there's this shrine to, what's his name? Sheikh Ahmed Dajani. I don't know who he was, but I know the Dajani family is one of the major Muslim families here in Jerusalem. There's a lot of people with the name Dajani, and you have this little structure for his tomb. It's pretty large, actually. And there's a couple remaining regular tombs up here at the top that look just like the ones that are in the other part, but these are quite far away from the other ones. Has a nice inscription. So it's pretty hot out, and I've seen all that I think I need to see. There's not much else left. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, bye.